Within a very short time frame, Spy Family has kind of established itself as one of the biggest anime shows on the planet, with fans worldwide. Plenty of people who have never heard of the series before or read anime or watched manga are big fans of it, and it seems like it's going to be a phenomenon for quite some time. And I would argue that Spy Family is already better than The Simpsons ever was because it more accurately depicts what a family is like, right? It's not some ridiculous stereotype based on like how rich Hollywood elites think poor people actually act, right? It is an actual depiction of how everyone wants to do good, how everyone wants to work together to come together for a common goal, and how everything works out in the end, right? Like it is more grounded in reality than The Simpsons will ever be, whether like people want to admit it or not, right? Spy Family is based, and I've talked about this like over and over again. Oh wow, I didn't even realize I was wearing my Spy Family shirt, right? You won't catch me wearing a Simpsons shirt for sure, but like Spy Family is, amazing, right? It is based. It understands what's truly important, right? It understands just what people find appealing about, married life and like going on adventures and like just living your normal everyday life. It is a phenomenal series. It takes many twists and turns. It has so much more going for it. It's beautifully animated. It's way, way better than The Simpsons ever was, with its terrible off-color jokes, with its abominable character models, with its like mean, malicious characters that in no way reflect reality. Uh, the disgusting location of Springfield, USA. Like, what exactly about The Simpsons is meant to be appealing to anyone, right? It's shocking to me how much more depth, how much more character, how much more personality, how much more humor Spy Family has managed to have in like what 70 manga chapters. I think it's 70 or 80 now. 80 manga chapters, right? Compared to like The Simpsons like 34 episode run, which is like inherently contradictory, right? We get different origin stories for the characters. We get like ridiculous flashback sequences that make no sense. We get like all these jokes that just fail to land, right? You get all of these things that just don't work, right? The golden age of The Simpsons is a joke. It's like uh it's like people hype this the original run of the first 11 seasons of the show as being something spectacular, as being like this culturally defining landmark, but really it's just something that always sold itself on hype, right? The show is not remarkable in any way, shape, or form. It is not good. It is not interesting. It is not funny. It is not well animated. It doesn't have interesting characters or plots or like anything really memorable about it at all, other than the fact that it's popular. It is the PlayStation of adult animated cartoons. It is a complete stain on society. Meanwhile, Spy Family is out, right? Spy Family is out here, having really well-rounded, interesting characters, right? You have the father, Lloyd. You have all the situations he gets into, all the cool adventures, all the gadgets, all of his interactions with Yor, the good and the bad, with like his work life, not even with the spy stuff, with the hospital stuff, with like how he treats other people, how he behaves. Like he is an absolute legend of a human being, and I want to be just like him, right? You're the woman I would want to be with. She tries so hard in spite of her personal problems and her rough outbringing. Like she is the perfect woman, right? Who does so much for her husband, does so much for Anya, does so much for the household, does so much good for the country simply by being herself, right? You have Anya, who is well on her way to becoming a good, fulfilling, like a good person in her own right, right? People, someone who's surrounded by good friends, mentors who care about her, people who want her to succeed, people who are there for her no matter what, right? Like it is so much better, so much more entertaining to watch these people than seeing Bart get in trouble, just because he's Bart, than Lisa Simpson being right about everything just because she's Lisa Simpson. Seeing Maggie refuse to grow up. Seeing Marge fail to take accountability for what her family is doing. Seeing Homer being a complete abject failure as a human being. There is no growth, there is no evolution, there is no development, there is no desire to change. It is the same boring, played out thing over and over and over again. Every episode, every season since the very beginning. Actually, even before that, like even the Tracy Ullman shorts were terrible. Like the day Matt Groening sat in that office and like drew those terrible sketches of like the entire family. Like he made that anagram of Bart like from his own name. Like the day he did that, the show was terrible. Okay, it was never good at any stage, right? It is a failure. It is an abomination. I wish more people talked about that, right? But instead, people get hung up on this idea that it's The Simpsons. You can't criticize it. It's going to be good again. They're going to get some writers on board and they're going to fix everything and like all 34 seasons are suddenly going to matter. No. No. It's never going to happen. The Simpsons is never going to be good. And the community really, really, truly needs to acknowledge that. They truly, really need to acknowledge that, like, the show wasn't good and that they need to grow up and move past that and consume some real adult entertainment. Or even better, start a family of your own. Start appreciating and giving back to the world and really start proving the reality that The Simpsons tries to present as being a complete lie, right? Understand that being being married and having children is a blessing and that there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing reprehensible about it. That you're not a disgusting person simply for existing like Homer Simpson wants you to believe you are, right? Like you are a really good person at your core, right? People like Homer Simpson do not exist. Hank Grimes is right about everything, right? The Simpsons does not reflect an actual reality that actually exists, right? It is a farce. It is a lie. It is it is an attempt at like convincing you that the world is like more malicious and cruel than it really is. It is a complete joke, right? It is shocking to me how much more accurately Spy Family manages to depict family interactions and dynamics and growth than The Simpsons has had in 34 seasons. It is embarrassing just how much Spy Family has completely demolished this series without even really trying.